Let's talk about a little introduction to project management. We know projects have been around for over 4,000 years, and project management's been around as long as that's been. Think about the pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza had to have project management. All those people working together to get that built was not just something they did. Oh, let's get together and do it. Somebody had to manage that. We've been doing project management for a long time. The roots of project management go back to large construction projects. Um, and the Project Management Institute's model on project management has its roots in those large construction projects as well. But so the terminology and concepts may seem to be a little out of sync with today, but they really aren't. It's still relevant to IT projects today. It's still relevant to small projects. The PMI model is flexible enough to handle that. So don't be put off by it and think it's some big model for when you start looking at it, you say, well, this is a big, would work a lot if you're building a building or something, but all I'm doing is updating a computer lab. Well, it still fits. It's flexible enough to do that. The company size that you are working in plays a role in how much the project management role is formalized. In large companies, the project management role tends to be formalized, and you will have a job title project manager, and you will follow the project management guidelines and do all the documentation. In a smaller company, project management tends to be something somebody does. They may not have the title of project management manager, but they are doing project management for a project. So even if you're not planning on being a project manager, if you're just planning on managing people who are working on projects, this course can be very helpful, and the Project Management Institute model can be very helpful. When we're working in the IT field, and we're talking about especially software development, but just the IT field in general, there are two competing development models at the moment. One is a more traditional model. You might have seen it as a waterfall model. And in that model, you design the entire system out before you start working on it. So you know how the database is going to be designed before you start, and you know how the interface is going to be designed. You know how everything's going to be designed before you start doing any development of it. In the Agile model, you have a goal of what you want to get to, and you build smaller iterations of that, or different pieces of it, and then you build from that. Hopefully you build it, deploy it, have people use it, give you feedback, and then you come back and work on it. Many times Agile has been modified, so instead of it being deployed, it's just tested. So you build a section, it's tested, and then you move on to the next one, which really isn't the root of what Agile should be, but it's what people talk about Agile today. A lot of what the Project Management Institute's model for project management involves this big design and planning from the beginning. In an agile world, you can't be doing that. So but you actually end up doing more project management. You're just doing it on a smaller scale, repeatedly, just like the rest of the development cycle is in agile. So if you start reading this and you start saying, well, this will work if you have a big, large project, but I'm working on a little agile, it's still going to be, the model can still be followed. It's just in little increments that go along with that. And if you want more information on that, look at the Agile versus Traditional video.